So, you're given a problem where you need to derive a value from a table. To keep this easy, let's say it's a table of x and y values, and you need to find out what x is when y equals 90. So you look at your reference table, and notice these two sets of values are the closest to what you're looking for. But you don't need these values. You need to find x when y equals 90. You can tell that 90 fits somewhere between the two given y values. Therefore, the x value when y equals 90 should also fit between the x values on the table. And how are you going to figure this out? You're going to use linear interpolation. The basic idea is that if we assume that a linear relationship exists between all of the table's x and y values, then we should be able to easily determine the unknown value using our known values. That might sound abstract and confusing, so let's visualize it. If you plot your known table values on a graph, you can draw a line between the two, shown in light blue here, and use that line to estimate where your unknown value will be on the axis. You simply plot your known value on the graph, draw a straight line to the slope line, and then from that point, draw a straight line to the axis of the unknown value, x. But this takes too much time, and you want an exact answer, not an estimate. This is how you interpolate without drawing anything. First, notice how the line between your known points has a constant, never-changing slope. If you remember your basic algebra, you should know that the rise over run value for that slope, m, is equal to the difference between the y values divided by the difference between the x values. In other words, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 equals the slope value. Since we are assuming a linear relationship exists between all x and y values in the reference table, it would make sense that your given y value minus y1 divided by the unknown x value minus x1 will have the same slope value. So, set the two slope equations equal to each other. Now solve for your unknown x value. If you aren't fast at this, just pause the video. You should ultimately arrive at this equation. Using this equation, plug in all of your known values and use your calculator. X is equal to 1.67857. Let's just round this off. X is approximately 1.68. And if you find 1.68 on the graph, you'll see that it lines up perfectly. And that's how you interpolate to find an unknown value from the known values on a table. Keep in mind, your unknown value does not necessarily have to exist between any of the table values. If this table ended at x equals 3.25 and you needed to find y when x equals 4, you could use the same process to determine your missing y value. If you want to skip most of this process, just write down these formulas to know how to get to your missing x or y values. You may find these formulas on the internet written differently, but the process is basically the same.